Hey guys, what's up? It's Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. So in the video today, I wanted to give you guys an update of what's been going on with COVID-19 and PA school, for those of you who are wondering. Just to start, I am a second year PA student, so I'm currently in my clinical rotations right now. So how is COVID-19 affecting my clinical rotations? So I'm supposed to graduate in December of 2020, so this year. As of now, I am still graduating in December of 2020. That's per my program. Now, I know some other PA programs can differ. I know one of my classmates who is attending another Texas program, her graduation has gotten delayed because she hasn't been able to complete her clinical rotations because of COVID-19. So it just depends on the program that the PA student is attending. But as for my program, we are still good to go to graduate in December of 2020. So how is COVID-19 affecting my PA school rotations or my clinical rotations? So I just finished my pediatrics rotation and I'll probably make a video about that later. I really loved my pediatrics rotation. I actually was not looking forward to it at all, and I ended up enjoying it so much, and I was pretty upset that it was cut short, being that for my program, every rotation is 5 weeks. I only completed 3 weeks of my rotation because that's when COVID-19 hit and most doctors started not accepting students, hospitals started not accepting students. My clinic though was still willing to take me on, but it was just fair per my university to take out all the students out of clinical rotations because they needed to verify that they had the proper PPE equipment and also the masks and 95 masks and everything. So they ended up just taking the students out of clinical rotations to be fair across the boards. So for my clinical rotations, for my pediatrics, I did 3 weeks, and then after that on my 4th week, I went on spring break. I kind of wish I would have stayed to do my 4th week during my clinical rotation. It's not necessary, but you can take it off because it's not part of your 5 weeks. You get that week off for spring break. But I ended up wanting to go see my family, and then I was thinking I was going to come back to finish my 2 weeks to complete the 5 weeks, but that wasn't the case. They ended up extending our spring break to 2 weeks. To be honest with you guys, I was very excited because that gave me more studying time to study for my EOR exam, which is your exam for each clinical rotation at the end of the month. So I was really excited. But then they told us that it was going to be an extra week, and then they finally told us that we weren't going back to clinical rotations for this spring semester. So I ended up only doing 3 weeks for my clinical rotation, for my pediatrics rotation, and my next rotation was going to be internal medicine, but as of now I'm not doing the clinical rotation either. So I am doing online classes. My professors have been very flexible, so we meet up once a week with my clinical professors. We go over basically for each rotation we have an end of rotation exam, and that's on the last day of your clinical rotation or the last day of the rotation. And so what we do is that usually the PAEA usually posts a blueprint for each rotation, and then they post the topics that are going to be on the exam. So what we've been doing is that our professors have been assigning us topics from that blueprint, and we make PowerPoints, and we meet up once a week with our professors and our other classmates, and we basically present on these PowerPoints. And then I also been studying a lot this time that I have a lot of free time. I'm trying to prepare myself for the PANCE, which hopefully I will be taking next year. I'm trying to take it as soon as I can when I graduate, and I think I'm trying to make the most of this time that I have right now to study for the PANCE, and that way I feel like I am prepared. And also I'm actually taking advantage of this time to reteach myself some of the subjects I was kind of not very good at. I've noticed that as I've been taking my exams for the clinical rotations, I keep doing very poorly on certain subjects, like cardiovascular is really bad for me, so is pulm. So I've been going back and actually learning the pathology and trying to learn it all over again, because I just think that during my didactic year, my first semester, if you haven't seen my other previous videos, I struggled a lot, and during that first semester was when I had my cardio and my pulm and my neuro, and most of that is just a blur, so including my pharmacology, my clinical medicine, pathophysiology. So I'm going back and teaching myself that. So I'm trying to keep myself busy. I also communicate with my classmates on a daily basis just to see how they're doing, see if they need any help with anything, how they are mentally and sane. I know it's really hard for all of us to be staying home. I'm also going to see if I can volunteer here, hopefully help my community, but we'll see about that. But as for now, I'm just studying as much as I can. That way when I do go back to clinical rotations, I do know a lot of things. Some of the things that sucks is that when you start your clinical rotation, some doctors will pimp you or they'll ask you questions and you don't know the answers. And then I find myself that by the end of the rotation is when I feel like really comfortable. I can see patients on my own, I know how to diagnose them, I can like confidently have a treatment plan for them, and that's because I've been studying so much throughout the clinical rotation, and that's usually never the case on the first day or the first few days. So I'm hoping that now that I'm preparing myself more or studying more, for example, for my internal medicine rotation, that when I do start my internal medicine rotation in June, hopefully that's the plan as for now. I don't know. I'll give you guys an update depending on what's going on and everything. That when I start my clinical rotation in June, I'll be able to know what I'm doing and I'll know the medications, etc. So as of now, in June, I'm supposed to complete only 3 weeks of my internal medicine rotation, and then I'm also supposed to complete the rest of the month. So it'll be 2 weeks on my internal medicine rotation within the 5 weeks, and then the 3 weeks will be my family medicine rotation. So within those 5 weeks, they'll split 3 for family and then 2 for internal medicine. That way they can make sure that we graduate on time, because I have 3 rotations left for my clinical year until I start my capstone. So capstone is only specific to my program. Not all programs have capstones. This is why I think we're able to graduate on time, and it's not really necessary for the PAEA that I know of. And so most programs only require you to do your 8 rotations and then you graduate and that's it. But for my program, it's 8 rotations, and then on top of that, you do a capstone. So a capstone is going to be whatever you want to practice in or you're interested in. So for example, I'm interested as now everything, but I'm thinking about either pediatrics or emergency medicine. So I would do about 4 or 3 months just in pediatrics or emergency medicine. That way when I graduate, I feel more comfortable, which I think is great because you have a doctor there, you have staff, and they're helping you out when you're seeing patients. So I think it's a great thing and I'm excited. So as of now, June, like I said, and my 5 weeks will be split up between 2 rotations, and then my July month, July mid August will be my final rotation, will be my 8th rotation. That's supposed to be my elective rotation. As of now, I am looking at a burn unit. I want to do emergency medicine, so I really want to do things like critical care, etc. So I thought the burn unit would be interesting. So if I do get that clinical rotation, I will let you guys know. I had actually applied for it before COVID-19 and they accepted me, but then when COVID-19 got a little bit more severe, they actually rejected my application and told me they couldn't take students because of COVID-19. So I'm hoping to reapply and hopefully see if they take me again, and if that's the case, I'll let you guys know how my burn unit elective will be. Alright guys, so that's just an update of how COVID-19 is affecting my program. I would say my clinical year is that our clinical rotations have gotten shorter. I'm not doing a clinical rotation right now. I have online classes. I'm going through class online once a week through Zoom, with meeting up with my professors, talking with my fellow classmates, studying a lot for my end of rotation. I'm trying to relearn EKGs, which is something I'm really bad at, and cardio and poem, and just trying to study as much as I can. That way that I feel more prepared once I start my internal medicine and family rotation, hopefully in June. Alright guys, so that's just an update. I hope you guys are taking care. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. If you can, stay home. I know sometimes it's really hard to stay home. It's sometimes when me and my husband go grocery shopping, which we try to limit it, I feel so happy to be outside, but you know, try to stay home, try to protect yourself, protect others, protect the individuals you're living with, especially the elderly. We want to make sure that they are safe. Alright guys, thanks and take care. As always, if you guys have any questions, make sure you comment below. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, and send me an email if you guys have any questions. I have time now to check my emails, so I should respond as soon as I can. Alright guys, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.